Hi roommate, this is your science lesson for Monday. There's two parts, two videos to look at. First this one, and then there's a second one, which I'll tell you about after we finish. Okay, we are going to be studying about dirt this week, and I have a book that I'm going to read you first. I'm not going to read the whole book, a part of it that tells us about dirt. And then I'm going to show you some samples that I've collected of different kinds of dirt. Then that'll be the end of this video, and then you're going to look at the second video. And that, I'll tell you now, is where I'm at a stream, nearby stream, collecting some of my soil samples that I'm going to show you. So I think you'll enjoy that. All right, let's start out with our book. This book is called Dirt. And you see a very cute picture on the front of a little mole digging down in the dirt. So this book says, have you ever dug in the dirt? Have you made mud pies? Have you ever helped plant a garden? You've probably noticed that not all dirt looks the same. Some dirt is dark in color, some is light. Some dirt is really sticky. Some is soft and fluffy. Dirt in all its different forms is important to our world. Let's dig into the story of dirt and find out what it's all about. And here you see our little mole. He's going to follow us in this story with his shovel here. Now, some people think that dirt is just something to be cleaned up, like the stuff you wash out of your clothes. But dirt is really one of the most important things on Earth. Scientists actually call it soil. Soil is found on the surface of the Earth. Soil is as important to life on Earth as air or water. Without it, many living things would die. Most soils start as rock. Rain, ice, and wind slowly wear rock into smaller pieces called sediment. So here's a picture of the wind and the rain and snow, just like our book about the boulder of gravel that through time becomes smaller and smaller. All kinds of weather can wear down big rocks into getting smaller. So those little pieces are called sediment. Some sediment is big and some sediment is really small. Soils usually include a mix of 4 sizes of sediments. Okay, so now we're going to learn those 4 sizes. So, the first, let's start out with gravel here, because gravel is the biggest sediment. Next biggest is sand. After that is silt, and the last is clay. So let's hear about those. Gravel is the biggest sediment. It looks like small rocks. Grains of sand are about the size of grains of sugar. Sand makes the soil feel gritty. So first gravel, then sand. Silt feels like flour. Now silt is the one I think you might be least familiar with. I'm showing you the next video where I collected the silt near a stream. That's a good place to find it. So silt, it feels like flour, and its grains are smaller than sand. Clay grains are the tiniest of all. When clay is wet, it makes soil really sticky. When clay is dry, it forms hard clumps, and I'm going to show you that in a second. Each type of soil has a different mix of sediments. These sediments all affect how water will act in soil. Have you ever spilled a drink on the sand at the beach? It sinks right in. Now you know when you play in the sandbox and we turn on the hose and make rivers, it doesn't stay long. It sinks right into the sand, doesn't it? So I guess what's important to know is if you made a garden, if you tried to plant seeds in our sandbox, or you made a garden with just sand in it, in a pot, you put sand, the water would just flow right through and it would be really hard to grow things. Now it's kind of the opposite with clay. Water has a hard time flowing through clay. Soils that have a great deal of clay often have puddles on top when it rains. So I know that happens in our yard. We have a lot of clay soil, and it's at school too. I'll talk more about that in a second. The very best soils have an even mixture of sand, silt, and clay. So all those are mixed together. And tomorrow's science lesson is going to talk about really good soil for planting. But now I'm going to show you what I've collected. Okay. When I went to the stream, I actually collected 3 different kinds of sediments. So the first is the gravel. First, I'm going to show you gravel from just my yard. We just use this for kind of decoration. So let's see here.